everybody, welcome back. We're so excited to have you back to join us for some more great content today.
Yeah, Gary is going to be talking about the strategy deployment system, and he's going to talk about how the supply chain connects to our corporate strategy. This is going to be really good.
We'll catch you at the end.
So I'm going to talk about strategy deployment and the system that we use to connect everybody to strategy. This was one of the things on your notes that you had an interest in hearing about. We actually do this extremely well. We've been doing strategy deployment for, I think, 25 years or something like that. There we go. So it all starts with the corporate strategy map. And you saw this map on every team huddle board that you went to. Every team knows what the strategy map is. They understand, they have been explained to all of the objectives, the grow, simplify, deliver. They could describe the core competencies to you. They know this language down the bottom, which I'm going to get to in a minute. They know the strategy map. And the way the strategy map is developed is every August, all the global VPs come together we go up the canyon to Stein Eriksen Lodge above Park City, and we spend about 4 days together just hashing the business, listening to reports, arguing about data, and we break up into about 6 different groups that are totally cross-functional. So Dave and Tolan and I are never in the same group. We're always in a group with salespeople and marketing people and finance people, et cetera, et cetera. And we tackle a problem, an issue, something we're trying to solve as a company. And we spend about a day and a half arguing about it, debating it, coming to a conclusion. We come back to the big group. We all present to each other. And from that, lots of discussion, lots of dialogue. All the global executives become very unified in terms of glomming on to those issues that seems to really matter. What you guys just said, I think that's a big deal. And by the time the meeting ends, we're all very unified. All the executives are agreeing what the direction is and where we need to go. That meeting, I would say some 10, 15 years ago, and Dave would agree with this, that meeting felt more departmental and people were arguing for their thing and against other people's things. And I would say in the last 7, 8 years or so, it's just become very productive. Everyone puts on a corporate hat and thinks about the big picture. Very powerful, I think. Everyone is free to disagree with each other, but there's a good feeling amongst the executives, not unlike the feeling that you have felt in the factory floor. Also, all the executives globally bring their spouses, their significant other. So, I was just talking to Zubin today, who is the managing director of our Indian operation. His wife Gulshan and my wife, they hit it off. My wife likes Gulshan a lot. And it's just nice. It gives that extra connection, when Zubin comes in and sits down, that we've got that extra link that kind of binds us together. So I think connection. I've said that a couple of times. I think connection is a big deal. So we come out of the VP meeting, and 2 weeks later, Dave and Tolan and I are meeting with all of our people. All of our management, I should say. So the group leaders you just met, all of their peers, plus the engineers, plus all the systems people. There's about 80 people or something like that. We're in the theater right here. And we basically share with them everything that was talked about at the VP meeting to kind of get them on the same, to understand why some things are important to the company right now and some things are not. Everyone's got their thing they want to push. Everyone's got their thing they want to get done. But if they understand why these are the areas of focus, they can let their thing go a little bit. They can focus on this big picture instead. There's a solid week of that. There is on a Tuesday, I meet with all the global directors. So director of operations in Australia comes in, director of operations in India, Toronto, London. We all come together with my directors and VPs here, and we have a full day of just data and talking. And we end up meeting with a strong direction of what we think matters to supply chain. and then the next day, all the others come in, and we're just hitting. Accounting comes and presents the income statement for their product lines. Marketing comes in, talks about new products. Sales comes in, talks about clients. Just ton of data. This is the statement that's on the bottom of our strategy map. I'm going to read it to you. It all starts with our people, and these are pictures. There's like 3 people from manufacturing, and then there's other people from every department are in this slide. It all starts with our people. We appreciate people who believe we're bigger together than we are apart, who work shoulder to shoulder, even when they don't see eye to eye, who have great ideas, ingenious solutions, and a collaborative spirit, who understand what clients really need is a good listening to, who watch out, speak up, work safely, who keep their promises, learn lessons, laugh, spread joy, and create a sense of family, who do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, who realize that ultimately we're in the most important business of all, the business of valuing people. This is foundational for our strategy map. And we hire to this statement, we coach to this statement, we talk about this all the time, and people reference it all the time. Like we'll be in a service award presentation honoring somebody, and people will be talking about what they love about whomever, and they'll use lines from here. And everyone's like, yeah, and it's just how better to reinforce this and to hear it described in somebody who you're honoring. And everyone's realizing that's who we are. That's what's expected of us. I think that's an important part of our strategy map. The other important part is at the very top, the purpose statement. We help people thrive at work. And we help every employee connect to that statement, that this matters. And so we're on the Fortune 100 Great Places to Work list on a regular basis, and when we take that survey, pride in company, we are off the charts. We beat everybody. Usually it's healthcare and medical emergency personnel who score the highest. O.C.Tanner has the highest scores that they ever get from pride. And I think it's purpose. I think it's the fact that we do that. I remember at one point the executive team was trying to convince Carolyn, who was our chair of the board, who this room is named after, that we were going to hit $500 million in sales, and probably hit 800 million this year, $500 million in sales, and we were all excited about it. And she's listening to us, and she says, I just don't think that goal is really going to resonate with everybody. You know, is it really the dollars that you're chasing? It was like, we were like, oh yeah, no, certainly not. And she was like, isn't it more important to impact lives and to make people's workplace better? I mean, shouldn't we talk about recognition moments and the power of the product? I was like, yeah. So, you know, that's pretty good when your chair of the board is reprimanding you for not remembering the purpose, what really matters. So I mentioned this offsite that happens in August, and we went through that, and then we come back here and we're doing this, and we're in the middle of doing this right now. September is our strategy deployment month. We do it every 6 months, so it's September and it's March. And twice a year, we celebrate, we recognize, we do a lot of data review, we share insights, and then teams define and set their goals. I'm just going to kind of walk you through how that happens. Week 1 is review and celebrate. So yeah, all these walls come down, the class comes out, and every team sets up a booth, and we spend an afternoon. It's raucous, it's loud, it's high energy. Everyone's coming through, talking to everybody else, and everyone's bragging about what they accomplished. Very powerful. I'm standing out here, and the noise is just huge, and I love it. It feels like a sporting event, and I love sporting events. But I love this. There's a lot of power there. The extravaganza. Every team presents their lead and lag outcomes, their cost savings, their improvements, their safety. Here's a close-up of Dom. He was running one of the acrylic teams that Mike was talking about. Now he's in maintenance. He made a move. But look at it, I mean, he's just excited to show what they've got. This is an example of all the stuff that they'll be showing everybody and really showing off. There was so much energy down here. I went back and I sent an email to my peers on the executive team. And I just told them, you know, I don't want to have something this awesome and not give you a chance to be included in it. So 6 months from now, we're going to do this again. If you want to join us, all you got to do is pick yourself a 6-month goal, keep track of it, record it, and come brag about it. Who's in? And immediately 6 members of the executive team asked if they could join us in March's strategy fair. So I'm very excited about that. Sales is going to be here, technology, who else? Legal signed up, finance, client success, and somebody else. Don't remember who the other one was. Who? Accounting. Yeah, accounting signed up. So anyway, it's going to be awesome, I think, when we do this again in March, get them included. Well, I sure hope they have something to show, because otherwise they're going to be embarrassed by our teams. They don't have something good to show. So I want to give you an example. It says here we talk about lead and lag outcomes. And so here is a target statement for, this is for emblem efficiency. The target condition is we're going to decrease labor cost per piece from 40 cents to 33 cents, an 18% improvement by the end of the strategy period. That's standard for us. That's how we write target statements. Some key metric from this to that, and some huge improvement by the end in 6 months from now. So the lag is cost per piece. That's what they're trying to improve. The lead is the thing that every team member is going to come in every day thinking about, okay, I need to do something to help this happen. What is that? We need to implement 5 process improvements. There's 1 month to cascade strategy and come up with yours, so there's only 5 months in the 6-month period to actually do the work. So they're saying every month they're gonna come implement a process improvement, was their lead metric. So they actually ended up implementing 7, and 4 others were still in progress. They did 1 a month in April, May, and June, and then I think they started to worry that it wasn't enough. They weren't going to hit their lag goal, so they pulled the lever harder and implemented 2 in July and August. And as you say, they have 4 more to go. These were the ones that they were doing, and the impact was the fact they went from 40 cents all the way down to 32 cents. So they actually ended up about a 20% gain in 5 months. 20% improvement on cost per piece. That's not bad, right? Here's another one, emblem quality, target condition, improve first-time quality, decrease quality issues from an average of 45 a month to an average of 35 a month, a 22% improvement. So the lag is reduced QIs. The lead is we will do weekly process and product audits, 1 for each team member with teaching moments. So every week, every team member will do a weekly process and product audits. That was their lead metric. So what do you want me to do to reduce QIs? I want you to make sure that this week you do your process and product audit. Will you do that? I can do that. And then some of those they're saying would turn into teaching moments, that they'd uncover something that, oh, let's talk about that. That's a teaching moment.
Imagine team members auditing each other and then teaching each other what they saw or an issue with what they saw. And they're helping each other get better. What a powerful statement.
Yeah, well said, Dave. Thank you. The hundreds of audits, and they got 8 teaching moments that came out of that. And, and the net effect is they went from 45 to 11, 75% improvement in quality through doing this. Pretty powerful. Here's another one. Let's see, that's just overall metrics. Here's another one. Improve cost per piece by 15% from 247 to 210 by the end of the strategy period. And they were going to do 9 process improvements per month, 1 per team member per month. They did that, and they made their goal. And that's them showing that they saved $195,000 in 6 months. These guys here did. This is such an improvement-minded team that now there are only 4 people on that team. When we show them the strategy map, when we roll out the strategy map, we talk about these are the things that really matter to the company right now. We're talking about a lot of things.
Yes.
We're asking them, go back as a team and spend 2 weeks asking yourselves, what's the most important thing we can do that would matter to the company? And come back and tell me what that is, and then show me on the map where you found that. I think a team will do a better job of agreeing on something that really matters. I think sometimes an individual might go off the weird end on, well, we ought to, whatever. And a team kind of brings that back, and where a team is agreeing, let's work on this together. And I'm never dissatisfied with what the teams decide to do. I do often have to ask now, where did you find this on the strategy map? And they'll say, it's right here. Now, in the early days of strategy deployment, they would often come up with their pet projects, the thing they had always wanted to do. And here it is, you're gonna, whatever, help me do this. I go, where is that on the strategy map? Yeah, let's go back and do it again. Yeah, it has to be a good connection. And we've shut down a lot of things early on that didn't really connect. We also had a lot of people come in with target statements that didn't have good lead metrics. And we're going to accomplish this, but there's really no clear pathway to do it. So those were the 2 things we worked on the most early on, was clear connection to strategy map, good lead metric that everybody understands this is what you do every day to make a difference. It's strategic. In the end, you want to be able to walk into a team and say, what are you guys working on strategically? And you can do this in our factory. And every person will tell you, they'll tell you their target statement. And why'd you choose that? They'll walk right over the strategy maps. They see that right there? Sometimes they'll point to 2 things. See these 2 things right here? That's what we're doing. Okay, how are you doing it? And they'll tell you their lead metric. How are you doing so far? And they'll walk you over to their graph. That's the whole point, is every person driving strategy. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're trying to do with strategy deployment. And so the fair really is, it's them bragging about how they drove strategy. Let's do this one. Take the current pieces per hour of the team from 7.1 to 9.3, a 31% improvement. Have you noticed the size of these goals? They're all pretty huge. 6 months, these are 6-month goals. And so I'll tell you, when we first started doing this, all the goals were 3, 4, 5% for the year. Is how we started. We used to do it once a year. And we ended up going to 6 months when a lot of the projects were wrapping up about month 10. And they're like, oh, we want to start something new. And the VPs hadn't met yet, so we didn't really, oh, can you wait? And everyone's just kind of in limbo. Once we went to 6 months, it's like that's a stretch. And people can barely get it done in 6 months. So it's perfect for us. We went from 3, 4, 5% to 7, 8, 9%, and then we went every 6 months, and everyone still was doing 7, 8, 9% every 6 months, which I remember we were in a monthly leadership meeting, and I said to everybody, hey, in my mind, the lean standard is double-digit annual gains, and you guys are doing that. 7, 8, 9 every 6 months, that's 14, 16, 18% a year. Congratulations, you're hitting the standard. And I'm obviously not as good a communicator as I think I am, because the next time they set goals, all the 6-month goals went to double digits. Every goal went to double. There wasn't a single case where they didn't. And I remember we were like, what is going on here? We knew that I had caused it through my poor communication. And we were wondering if we should push back on it. We said, well, let's let it go. Let's see what happens. And they hit it. So I don't know what the lean standard is now. I have no idea. But I do believe that if you let teams, set a target and go for it, they'll do amazing things. It's their goal. They'll make it happen. So they were going to do it by eliminating 190 wastes, 10 per person. And that was the first time we'd seen this as a lead metric. And I didn't want to be the guy who said, oh, I don't know how you become more efficient by eliminating waste. I didn't want to say that. So we're like, okay, run with it. They created this cool chart. They call themselves the Waste Warriors. and they were keeping track. Everybody had to do at least 10, but life is a standard, curve. Some people do a whole lot more, some people do the bare minimum, and they just absolutely kicked butt. They were going for 33%, and they went from they got something like 35-40% improvement by eliminating wastes. Pretty spectacular, I think. Okay, so week 2 is the Tuesday. That's when I meet with all the directors. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we meet with all the people, share data. And then on Thursday and Friday, we do some training. And then we break into value streams. And so like the press product value streams that we were in today, they would get together and they would talk about, what matters to us. What do we, out of everything we heard the last 3 days, what do we need to share with our people so that they can think more strategically, so that they can pick strategic projects? And that's how we end the week, is with every manager, like all those ones you just saw on second shift, every one of them knows what, and shares with everybody else. This is what I'm going to go back and tell my people. And we spend the next week doing catchball and cascading strategy. We're just sharing all that information. And then the team has another week to determine where they're going, to write their target statements. And that's where we are right now. And then on Monday of next week, we will have an initial meeting. It's probably here. On Monday of the next week, we'll have an initial meeting with each of the team leaders, and they'll tell us, this is what we're going to, this is what we think we're doing. This is our target statement. This is where we're going. This is how it connects to the strategy map. And those are pretty easy now. They used to be hard, but for about the last 8-9 years, they've been really easy. Everyone comes in with the right stuff, and it's great, and it works. We're just happy. I've been doing these calls so far with the global directors, and then next week my team will meet with all the global directors on Zoom, and they'll do the same thing with their teams. So their teams will come on and tell us what they're working on. And then on Tuesday of next week, we'll be in the theater, and basically every team will get up. They'll have 3 minutes to tell everybody, this is what we're working on, this is how we're going to do it, this is how it connects to strategy, see you in 5 months. And it's just like everybody telling everybody, this is what I'm doing. And then they come back and we report 5 months later to hold them accountable. During the, so 2 months later, my team and I go and we visit every team. We carve out about 2.5 weeks out of our month in each of those where we're just in the teams all day long, visiting, talking with teams. We schedule them for an hour. They don't always take an hour, but they can. And they're basically just bragging to us about how they're doing, what's going on so far. And those are very interactive meetings, a lot of time on the floor, behind stuff, looking, pointing, showing, bragging, a lot of show and tell, very high energy. My team, whenever when we do the celebration here and they report to us at the celebration, we have one-on-one time at the celebration where the teams just come and make their presentation to us before the fair starts. Whenever we're listening to them presenting, my team's instructions are smile and nod and be impressed. That's all you do. We don't listen for problems. We don't seek, to show how smart we are and catch them in something. We just like, wow, that's amazing. And it's easy because they're amazing. The stuff that they're saying is just like, blow me away, They're just, and they love to present to us because we're a pretty easy audience and we admire them and they like being admired. They like to be honored by our admiration. And so that's the way we do it. We visit halfway through. And if a team is struggling to hit their goal, maybe they got the wrong lead metric, we give them a chance. They can change it. They can tweak it if they want to. They can pull harder, do something different. The other quick thing I wanted to share with you, I don't know if you saw the True North on one of the boards down here, but about 6-7 years ago, we compiled a list of what perfection would look like. What if we were perfect? And perfection would be every system, every process, every person, every piece of equipment 100% capable. It would be, we delighting clients 100% with the most relevant creative product value, 100% value added. These would be perfection. And there's no trade-offs here. So like you can't say, well, come on, I could have 100% quality if I didn't have to be on time. Or if you stop giving me all this new product, I could be more efficient. It says, no, we're going to give you new product, and you're going to be more efficient, and you're going to be on time, and you're going to, that's just the expectation. It's not a pick and choose. You got to do it all. And if you accomplish all of those, including 0 injuries and illness, then let's just go after impacting every life for good. That's the one at the top. We can always improve more on that one. So there's just a lot of room for growth here. And in addition to the strategy deployment, most teams will also tell us that they're improving something here, that they've noticed a gap that they're not happy with, and they're trying to close this gap in some way. We're good with that. We're great with them having another project that they're working on. So everyone's always trying to close that gap. And I will also tell you, it's probably been, I'll bet it's been 20 years since I heard anybody say, oh, we just gave you 15%. You want more? Nobody says that. They always say, we just got 15%. What else can we do? Let's go do some more. That's the way they talk. We never hear the other anymore. We did early on. The people are definitely served by this system. They own their business. They make it happen. And I feel like this system is a great way to honor them and pull them into everything that we do. So that is our strategy deployment system. I would say it's one of our top 3: strategy deployment, coaching. Definitely, I think coaching is probably our most important system. Our improvement system is a big deal, I think, with the cards. And I think our Gemba assessment system, going to the Gemba, verifying that people are using the systems, following the principles, that's a big deal. Those are probably our big 4 systems, and 16 others that just help us get along the way.
So I really like this video. Gary gave a really in-depth review of how the strategy deployment system works and how it connects to our corporate strategy. And if you want to see more about strategy, check out the link below.
Absolutely. You'll have to check out our Strategy Expo video that we did just last week, where we go more in depth about how these report outs look in the teams. So definitely like this video, go subscribe to see more. We'd hope to see you back soon.
And check us out next week.
All right, welcome back. We're so excited that you're here with us. I've got some great content for you to share today, and I gotta start over.
We gotta catch some stuff.
Hold on. I had it all worked out.
Check out this link. It's here or here. Yeah, these trees are gonna change soon.
I'm excited. O.C.Tanner is beautiful in the fall.
Yeah. Yep.